Can I say kia ora and good evening, everyone, and just say that it is my very, very real pleasure on behalf of Air New Zealand to say that the winner is the amazing Fady Mishriki.
Kia ora. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, fellow award winners. Thank you, Kia and Air New Zealand, not only for this award, but also for the contributions your organizations have made to our successes over the years. This really is a huge honor and rather overwhelming. More overwhelming than the first time I felt electricity flowing through my body. And yes, I did cut a power cable with scissors to see if I could make the power jump, as you do. The conclusion from that first experiment was a nasty electric shock. I was always fascinated with power, and I hated wires. So other poorly thought out experiments followed. More electric shocks also followed. Talk about persistence through adversity. Who knew a decade later I'd move to New Zealand and meet legendary professors like John Boyes and Patrick Hugh, who taught me how to do it properly and safely. It's been quite a journey. We put wireless power in some really interesting places, from wind turbines up high to the depths of the Pacific Ocean. From roots as a student project, I'm humbled we created the University of Auckland's most successful spin-out to date. But in that, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Faculty of Engineering, the Business School, Uni Services, and also the Ice House. When my family moved to New Zealand, my parents couldn't work here as doctors without requalifying. So we ended up at the University of Auckland together. They did medicine and I did commerce and engineering. In fact, our entire family of 6 were all students. Things were tight, but my parents always believed in the importance of a university education. Today, both my parents are practicing doctors here in New Zealand, and my 2 brothers and sisters have their own business endeavors, also living here in New Zealand. They've all been a tremendous support, for which I'm grateful. I especially want to thank my parents for moving to New Zealand, for not insisting I do med school, or worse, med school with them. For teaching us the importance of hard work, and just for being such wonderful role models. So I'd just like to acknowledge Mum and Dad. When I graduated, I told my mother I was going to start a business in wireless power, and she couldn't stop telling me all the reasons why I shouldn't do this. You can probably guess a few of them. My father was very encouraging. My mother, on the other hand, she always wanted me to work for a big, prestigious company. You have 2 degrees, she'd say. What kind of a job is this that pays you less than a student? It took 12 years from graduation, but she eventually got her way. I'm proud to lead Apple's Auckland Technology Centre. Our team here continues to expand, and we look forward to growing New Zealand's technology industry. I believe we've joined one of the world's truly great companies. I know I speak for my entire team when I say that we are grateful for the opportunity and what it means for New Zealand as a hub of innovation. Next, thank you. My amazing wife, Olivia, who's had to put up with a lot. We met at our last year of university. She's been a bastion of support and belief. Also, really hard to impress. You see, when I told her we were joining Apple, she wasn't surprised. She said, "I never expected anything less." Thank you for everything. Now, in the midst of the GFC, I managed to get myself married twice. To Olivia, of course, but there was also another, our largest investor, Movac. We were literally signing the investment documentation at the back of the venue. I was too scared to tell Olivia this until after our honeymoon. And technically, I married the investors first. It was only maybe 4 or 5 hours first. I especially want to thank David Beard, who was on our board from the early days, and also Phil McCaw for their unwavering support. When I came back as CEO in 2015, we had some significant challenges. Thank you for backing me and the team during some very uncertain times. It was a remarkable and very memorable journey, and I'd do it all over again. Now, it takes many talented leaders and people to do these things. I really want to acknowledge Kunal Bhargava, who's been on this journey with me longer than anyone else, since 2003. We met at boarding school. We shared a room. He snored then, and apparently he still snores now. But it's been a tremendous roller coaster, and I couldn't have wanted to do this with anyone else, so thank you, Kunal. I also want to thank Michael Eckert, who moved not just himself, but his family and his kids here from Austin, Texas, to head up our engineering and operations team, and actually moved here at a very uncertain time. But despite that uncertainty, the pressure of being a new country, Michael stayed, and I cannot thank you enough for the contributions you made, Michael. So, Michael, Jamari, thank you. Next, I'd like to thank the Tesla 12. You guys know who you are. And also all the other proxies. Thank you for your loyalty, your talent. Thank you for the privilege of growing together. Thank you for being a world-class New Zealand team. One question I'm asked a lot these days is, how does New Zealand create more of these successes? And I think the answer is actually very simple. By investing more in our universities and schools, actually. Universities can nurture next generations with the innovative and entrepreneurial spirit that inspired my team and I. George Bernard Shaw said, "The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable man persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man." Now, bear with me here. Many years ago, I was transiting in London, and I picked up a local newspaper which read, "In nearly all else apart from rugby, New Zealand as a nation is a model of humility and reasonableness." The opposite is true when it comes to rugby. They expect to win, they demand to win, and when they don't, it is if not just the players wearing the fabled black shirt have failed, but the entire nation has failed. So, we better not lose in Japan this year. On a more serious note, today, when I walk through the University of Auckland, like our rugby, I can see that unreasonableness on which progress depends. I can see a next generation of entrepreneurs and engineers that expect to win, that demand to win. And I hope in time a world-class startup nation that takes a deep interest in their successes and failures. And it's not just a feeling. The university has managed to double its Inventors Fund. The number of startups per year has almost quadrupled. This is from the University of Auckland. Today's graduates want to get their OE by building big global businesses from New Zealand. And I know that Kia and Kiwis everywhere will be a massive help to them in those endeavors. Thank you for this tremendous honor. Have a wonderful evening.